Hey, what's up everyone? This is Sean Hadley with the Kaiju Bust Builders Club. If you're watching this, that means you are one of my Patreons, and that makes you awesome. Patrons? Patreons? Patrons? Yeah, let's go with patrons. Thank you very much for supporting my idea, joining in this build. It's going to be a lot of fun, I hope. I have a whole bunch of busts ready to go over the next few months, and as we get more members, we can add more cool stuff. So share it around if you would. I would really appreciate it. So what I have here, I have the 60% 1954 Godzilla bust. So why did I print this at 60%? So 120% is actually like the suit size for these guys, which would be this big boy. So that's basically close, you know, maybe a little small, but close to what the suit head would have been size-wise. So 60% is half of 120, which makes this a half-scale bust. So it works out perfect. That's why I did 60%. So on this guy, we have 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. And then we have a handful of tabs. So these tabs are going to fit into the holes on our model here so that we can correctly line up all the pieces. Depending on your tolerances on your printer, your squish, a bunch of different factors, they might be a little big. So there's a couple ways you can deal with that. You can shrink them 2 or 3% in your slicer, and that usually does the trick pretty good. Or you can do like me, because I forgot to shrink them, and you can just cut the tabs. That's not a big deal either. These are not for support. They're strictly to line up the model, so you can cut them as long as they fit, you know, and line up. Should be fine. So the way I do these, and you may be light years ahead of me. If you've been 3D printing for a while, this is all super basic stuff. You can skip it or just watch it to get to know me. Either way is cool. But I appreciate you checking it out either way. I just kind of want to show you how I do it. So now that I have all my pieces, there's only a couple things I need to put this together. At this point, we'll do more later on. I prefer and love my blue cap Gorilla Glue gel. It doesn't sit too quick. You can hold it and play a little bit with it, and once it does set, you're not going to get that stuff to come apart unless you break it. So I really enjoy this type of glue. I've used a bunch of different types of glue that either set too quick or they're too brittle. So this has been my perfect type of medium. Sandpaper, side cutters. That's all I need to do this. Your method might be different. You might use different glues. You might do the welding method. However you do this is fine. But this is how I do it. So what we will do, and I went ahead beforehand and I went through and I pegged up all my my holes so that I could just make this super quick and easy. It's no fun watching me fit these. So what we do, we just take our glue, and what I found works best for 3D prints is if you just do like dots every couple of inches. So, you know, boop, 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 boop. Get it around there as much as you can so that when you do squish, there's little pools there that it can make contact with and squish. When you try to go too thin, sometimes there's not enough liquid there for it to attach. But, so there we go. We're all good there. Super easy. We're just going to go like that. So there's another way you can do this too. You can actually do the printing inside the mouth before you do this part, which actually probably I should have done. That would have made this 100% easier, but I've done a bunch of them, and it's pretty easy to get in there with the brush and do the reds and the teeth, so I'm not too particularly worried about it. When we finish the large Godzilla, I will absolutely finish the mouth first. So that's that. All good. One other thing I'd like to show you guys real quick. A lot of people ask how to get rid of stringing. No matter what, I'm always getting some sort of stringing. Once in a while, I'll have some totally string-free pieces, but especially because I print in PETG, stringing is just a thing. So one second. Handy dandy blowtorch, easy peasy. So we take this, and I had some stringing. You might be able to see it there. And we just go like that. Don't do it too long because you don't want to melt or burn into the pieces. And we are now string free. So we got that part done. Now we'll do the back of the head here. Same thing. Little dots all over. And again, and I didn't even use all the tabs, as you can see. I only used a couple. You don't really need all of them. Just enough to line it up correctly. 2 did the trick for me. There we go. The harder you can push it together, the better this is going to turn out in the end, because you will have less gaps to fill. And I'm actually seeing a pretty good gap there, so I'm going to pause for a second, pull this apart, find out why. It looks like I have a little piece of my tab that I cut that is sticking out here. We'll pull that out. And that should do it. Much, much better. Cool. So now that is glued. So that's basically it. That's about how I do these guys. I just kind of wanted to show you the types of tools I use. I'm going to go ahead and finish up gluing this guy and putting the tabs in there. Once I do finish that, I'll come back and I'll show you guys how to fill gaps with Bondo spot putty. If you have any questions in the meantime, just kind of put that guy there and see what it looks like. But this is basically the end product that we're going to end up with. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I will be back at some point to show you guys the Bondo process, which is really cool, really easy on these guys, especially because of the skin textures. Very easy to hide any print lines and stuff like that. So thank you for supporting the Kaiju Bust Builders Club. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, requests, whatever, anything like that. Thank you guys a bunch, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.